Welcome to week 5 class. Hopefully you find these videos instructional and just kind of handy to see some of the key things to focus on throughout the week. You're doing a wonderful job. I've really enjoyed the feedback you're giving in your face-to-face teaching assignment as you report that opportunity, and I'm glad you're enjoying that. This week, lesson 5 will be learning about the Abrahamic covenant and going through some of the truths that are taught there. Always a good idea to hop into this week at a glance. It's going to be pretty similar to what we've seen in the past, where you'll have the preparation, the assessment, the writing assignment, in-class sharing instructions, and you'll notice there's a first post due date, which is due date number 1, and a second post, which is due date number 2. This is a little bit interesting as we'll go through and find where we get the instructions for that, because the first in-class sharing assignment, we get the instructions under the prepare portion, but to get the second in-class sharing instruction, what you should do for your second post, your due date 2 post, you have to go into the in-class sharing portion of this. The face-to-face teaching has been great. The disciple progress plan, keep that in mind as you've set goals and you're working through some things there. Your next assignment that you'll actually submit in regards to your disciple progress will not actually come until week number 7. So we've got a couple more weeks here. Back into the lesson 5 overview here, and we'll go down to the prepare. You'll see the materials that you're invited to prepare, an introductory statement, some things to keep in mind as you go through and as you really focus on and learn about the Abrahamic covenant and why that is so significant in the gospel of Jesus Christ. Hopefully, you'll have some answers to come to some of these questions. Your reading assignments to study and go through, these are some great talks that put things in perspective. The weekly reading, the weekly writing assignment, we download the template. You've all been doing great with that. In the instructions here, and then it is explained as well on the template as well, what it is that you're invited to do with that. The in-class preparation, as you go through, you'll study. Again, keep in mind your in-class sharing. You are going to get the instructions for your first post right here. This is what you should do. And then when we go later on to the in-class sharing instructions, we'll find details for your second post. So the first post, you're going to be picking one of these and sharing your insights on that. Again, you can use one of your questions from your writing assignments if you choose to do that, or a different one. It does give you that option as well. And then you'll take the assessment, and that's what's in the preparation portion. Again, these are all due date 1 activities that you see there. The assessment, everyone seems to be doing well on that. Remember that has to be taken by Tuesday night. If there's something that comes up for whatever reason and any assignment is ever going to be late, or you're not going to be able to get it in by the due date, please contact me before that due date has passed. In-class sharing instructions, as we go into this, you'll see step 1, the initial thread basically says refer to the instructions in the preparation portion, but step 2, we have to come into this to see the instructions. Review all the initial posts of your students in your group, comment on one classmate's post. What do we learn? What have you learned from reading their post? How does their insight add to what you've already learned? What additional insights can you learn from this? And they need to respond to one of their posts. Choose one which doesn't have a response. Now, I recognize there may be some that get 2 responses just because there's uneven numbers in some of these groups, and that will be all right. But please don't have 2 responses to one and someone else has a post that doesn't get a response to it. These instructions here, answer their question, will require you to do additional research or answering their question. Along with your answer to their questions, include scriptural references and prophetic teaching. Be sure to reference, cite, and explain your answer. So please make sure that as you complete this second due date activity, responding to a post, that you make sure that you're including those scriptural and prophetic references to back up your statements and how you answer those questions. And then again, this is helpful if you, in your response title, specify whether you're giving a response to their post or answering their question. That'll help everyone in your group understand whether a question has been answered or not for that. Hopefully that's helpful, because there has been some questions and some concerns and just not getting the references, the scriptures, and the prophets in those second post assignments for that in-class sharing. Face-to-face learning has been going great. Again, it's exactly what it has been in the past. You'll find someone to teach, download the template, and share your experience about that teaching experience and how it was for you. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to either email me or post a question on the question and discussion board that we see at the top of every week's lessons. You come right there, questions and conversations. And there's been some great input that has come from other students answering questions in that discussion board, and some great insights there. Thank you for all you're doing. Keep up the great work, and I look forward to studying and learning and hearing from you your experience about the Abrahamic Covenant. Hope you have a great week.